Well, it's very important to understand that Bank of America is a great bank and they have a lot of products. So in today's conversation, what I want to do is I want to do a comparative analysis of Bank of America EIN only business funding. I'm going to compare business loans to lines of credit, to SBA loans, and franchise funding. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome City Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you had to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Bank of America EIN only business funding. So we are going to compare and contrast several EIN only business funding arrangements. But before I get into the nitty gritty, let's understand that when we talk about Bank of America, we are talking about a lot of pros and a few cons when it comes to EIN only business funding. What are the pros here? You have high borrowing amounts. Bank of America is very generous when it comes to funding programs. You have multiple types of financing available. Rates tend to be cheap, and long-term financing options are available to businesses, not only small businesses, but also mid-sized businesses, okay? What about the drawbacks here? Borrower qualifications might be hard to meet in certain cases, and financing is not available in some states, and the application process is slow and involved, especially when you apply online, which is why we tell everybody to go to a Bank of America branch and apply there. And the funds can take some time to disperse, okay? But one thing you need to understand is that Bank of America is a financial behemoth. They are the second largest bank in the United States by assets, and they have close to 4,500 to 5,000 financial centers in the country. One thing you need to understand is there is a constellation of EIN only business funding programs offered by Bank of America. Money, 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 right? Money, money, money. So here are some popular small business lending projects that Bank of America has spearheaded in the country. So you have secured and unsecured business term loans. You have secured and unsecured lines of credit. You have SBA loans. You have commercial lending. You have equipment financing. You have business auto loans, healthcare practice loans. And because of COVID, they have been involved also in the PPP loans, the Paycheck Protection Program loans. But one thing I want to say overall is that Bank of America is very generous when it comes to the loan amounts. You can borrow all the way to $1 million. Again, of course, you need to have the right financial statements. You need to have, your business has to have the proper financial performance to qualify for the higher amounts. But overall, this is a great lender to apply with. I want to talk to you about the business loan borrower requirements, okay? So one thing you need to understand is that when we talk about Bank of America EIN only business loans, there are two possibilities. You can apply without EIN or you can apply with EIN only. Okay, so to have a good chance of qualifying for a Bank of America business loan, and this is a big decision time here, you need to pay attention, you need to take notes. The bank recommends that you meet the following minimum requirements. So time in business, 2 years. So if you have a startup, chances are you will not qualify for a loan with Bank of America unless you have the proper relationship. Very important. So time in business, 2 years. Business revenue, $100,000 per year for an unsecured loan and $250,000 per year for a secure loan. So you can see that the business revenue requirements are a little high if you're looking for a collateralized loan, aka secure loan. Your personal credit score, 670, that's the minimum. But if you have an MPR with the bank, a multi-product relationship with Bank of America, they will take care of you if you have a minimum FICO of 525. So here you have it. You can see that It's not really complicated. They just want you to be around for at least 2 years to make some money. And more broadly, Bank of America uses what it calls the 5 C's of credit to evaluate borrower qualifications for the loans that they give out. So when we talk about 5 C's, we are speaking about what? We are speaking about capacity. So capacity means that your ability to repay the loan that Bank of America has given you. Okay. The second C, capital. Do you have capital assets such as equipment? Okay, such as machinery, such as property. Those are capital assets. They also like to talk about collateral. Do you have assets that you can use as collateral? Accounts receivable, inventory, cash, equipment, commercial real estate. So when we talk about collateral, we are talking about any kind of assets, any kind of asset that is liquid, that can be monetized. Number 4, the fourth C. Bank of America likes to talk about the conditions in your industry, right? What are the current economic conditions? In the hedge fund industry, they call it the macro. What is the macro in your industry? Okay. And last but not the least, your own character. That's the 5th C. What is your work history, your industry experience? What do people think of you? So you do have a combination of reputation, a combination of experience, and a combination of network also. I want to talk to you now about the funding programs, the EIN only funding programs that Bank of America has. And the first one is the Business Advantage Term Loan. So here you have you have the unsecured business loan and the secure business loan. I first want to talk to you about the unsecured business loan. So this is the Business Advantage Term Loan that offers qualified businesses lump sums between $10,000 and $100,000 and term lengths from 12 to 60 months. This is really good. Think about it. 1 year to 5 years. We love that. There is a one-time fee, an origination fee of $150, okay? And basically, you get this unsecured business loan if you're trying to get working capital, and if you are looking for a business loan that does not require collateral. This is kind of cool. The interest rate starts at 4.75% with monthly payments, okay? And preferred rewards for business clients can receive interest rate discounts up to 0.75%. This is why it is important to have a relationship with Bank of America. If your goal is to seek an EIN only business loan or line of credit or franchise funding arrangement. So that is for the unsecured business loan. I want to talk to you about the secured business loan because they have that too. And secured business loans with Bank of America, you can actually use collateral. They can use the business collateral. You can use the business asset rather as a collateral, or you can use a Bank of America CD as collateral. They are okay with that. Either way, you got to have some cash. Either way, the collateral must be liquid. In other words, the collateral must be monetizable, okay? And one thing I need to say is that the secured business loans are a bit harder and more time-consuming to qualify for, but the collateral allows you to borrow more than you could with an unsecured loan and often at a lower interest rate, starting at 3.50% instead of 4.75%. And term loans are up to 4 years when secured by business assets or up to 5 years when secured by CDs. So it's very important to understand that a secured business loan will be more appropriate for expansion projects than working capital because they are so slow to process. They are very slow to disperse. So this is important, okay? And in terms of amounts, the loan starts at $25,000 and they can go all the way to $250,000. I want to talk to you now about the EIN only, Business Advantage Line of Credit. And here also you have an identical scenario. So you have an unsecured business line of credit, and then you have a secured line of credit. Let's just break it down. Let's first start with the unsecured business advantage credit line. And here the limit goes all the way to $100,000. That's the maximum limit. It is a revolving line of credit. So whenever you pay down your balance, you'll have that much credit available again, okay? No interest gets charged until you use the funds. So interest rates for the Bank of America EIN only Business Advantage line of credit starts at 4.50% And preferred rewards for business clients can receive discounts. One thing I definitely need to explain here is that when we talk about EIN only business funding, again, you can choose to apply with or without EIN. In other words, if you have solid personal credit, you have solid personal financial history, you can use those two elements to qualify for a business advantage line of credit. In other words, you are relying on your personal credit instead of the credit of the business. Okay, this is very important. And a line of credit from Bank of America or any other bank for that matter functions much like a credit card in that you only pay interest on the amount you use. Okay, and in this case, Bank of America will extend your business a line of credit for a certain amount, and you can borrow up to the limit of that credit line. Okay, again, the maximum limit here is $100,000. Let's talk about the secured line of credit. Here, the scenario is also analogous. Okay, so you are basically securing your line of credit with an asset, and the way you do it, you need to have a blanket lien on your assets or a Bank of America CD. Okay, so that you can access more money at slightly better rates. So here we are talking about, instead of 4.5%, we are speaking about 3.75%. And credit limits for secured lines of credit begin at $25,000 and have no upper limits. And this makes sense. There is no upper limits because your collateral will determine how much money you will get under the secure line of credit. If you have an asset that goes all the way to $1 million and you want to pledge that asset for this line of credit, no problem. Okay, so you will have a limit of 900,000 or 950. Of course, there's gotta be a blanket lien on that asset. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We're also having a conversation today about Bank of America EIN only business loan versus line of credit versus SBA loan versus franchise funding. And I've already talked to you about the first two. So we have the business loan and line of credit. Now let's talk about the SBA loans. The thing here is the Bank of America actually processes several SBA loans. So those are government-backed loans. So when we talk about SBA loans, we are talking principally about the 7A program and the 504 loan program, okay? And those loans are partially guaranteed by the SBA, allowing your business to actually get better rates. And it's very important to understand that the process is a little more complicated than it would be for most other loans because you are dealing with two organizations instead of only the bank, right? You're not dealing with only Bank of America, you're also dealing with the United States government via the Small Business Administration. And so you need to think about a down payment. You need to plan for a down payment of around 10%, as well as provide assets or real estate for collateral for a 7A loan. So the length of SBA loans will vary depending on what you're applying the money for, okay? For example, 7A loan can last up to 7 years for working capital, 10 years for equipment purchases, and 25 years for real estate. So you really need to think about that. So when we talk about 7A loans, we are talking about amount that can go all the way to 10 or 5 or 10 million. Okay. You also have a 504 loan programs. You have amounts that can go all the way to $1 million. But the good thing with Bank of America is that they do have a constellation of loans under the SBA umbrella. So they have loans from $25,000 to $350,000. You can use that to fund working capital or inventory. You can purchase equipment, okay? And down payment here as low as 10%. You have loans from $350,000 upward. You can use that to purchase equipment. You can purchase or refinance commercial real estate. You can fund construction or improvements, okay? And here the terms up to 10 years on equipment and up to 25 years on real estate with up to 25-year amortization. And you have loans from $200,000 to $5 million. You can use the loan to fund a plethora of initiatives. You can purchase equipment. You can purchase commercial real estate. You can fund construction or improvements. You can even use the money to fund working capital or inventory. I want to talk to you now about franchise funding from Bank of America. One thing we love about this program is that it gives you the power that you need to actually spearhead a specific activity. All right, and the great thing here is that there is no application fee. You have quick loan decisions. We've seen that on average, this decisions in the franchise funding program are 25 to 30% faster than they are in other EIN only business programs. Okay, and here you have loans available starting at $10,000. You have competitive rates and terms. Okay, and you can also use SBA loans to fund your franchise. So the bottom line here is that you are getting money to build your franchise. Let's say you want to open the next McDonald's in your area, and you don't have the cash, or you have the cash but you don't have the required amount. You can go to Bank of America and you can ask for the franchise funding program, and they will look at your file, they'll look at your business plan, they'll look at your financials and make a decision. Okay, and there are several ways you can use your loan. So franchise loans can help you build and achieve new business milestones. You can use the cash to refinance. So you can improve cash flow by refinancing existing debt. Remember, Bank of America has very low rates, dirt cheap APRs. Okay, we're talking here about 3.75, 4.50, 4.5, 5%. Those are really low. Okay, you can use the money to expand and remodel. In other words, you're making improvements on your current store. You can start a new one or improve your owner-occupied commercial real estate. You can also use the money to find opportunities. You can capitalize on a resale opportunity. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make here is that the list, of course, this list is not exhaustive, but the opportunities abound. There are many opportunities you can seize through a franchise funding program, a franchise funding loan that you get from Bank of America. The borrowing criteria: you must be at least 2 years in business, and you must have minimum revenue of at least $250,000. Here we are speaking about gross revenue, not net income. Okay, gross revenue, you got to have at least $250,000, and you got to be in business for at least 2 years. So again, here is a program that is not available for startups. Let's talk about other financing programs that you might find interesting if you are looking for money. I mean, you're looking for a loan rather. You like to get a loan from Bank of America. So you have equipment loans. Okay, Bank of America offers specialized secure loans to businesses looking to finance equipment purchases. So you can. What we love with those loans is that they come with lower interest rates, starting at 3%. And you got to use the money to purchase qualified assets such as heavy equipment, office machinery, and so on and so forth. And the loans can last up to 5 years, and they can start at $25,000. So that's the minimum loan amount. And you also have, and Bank of America also offers equipment leases. So they have that. You can also get a business auto loan with Bank of America. So those are unsecured loan up to $10,000 with rates starting at 2.99%. This is really good. Okay, and the term length is 48 to 72 months. You can use this loan to finance a car, van, or light truck used by your business, as well as commercial vehicles. Okay, and one thing I also need to say is that you also have commercial real estate loans. So if you're looking to buy property, commercial property or land, you'll probably want a long-term loan, and Bank of America also covers that. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Let's talk about the application here, folks. So the application, big decision time. Are you interested in a Bank of America EIN only business funding program? Big decision time. Talk to me now. Think about it. One thing I want to say here is that the application process is great. It runs very smoothly, but it does take time in terms of the disbursement scenario, the disbursement situation. Having said that, you need to understand that there are certain things you need to, there is a certain paperwork that you got to have. Okay, there is some variability depending on the states you're based in. But here is what you will need to apply for a Bank of America business loan. Personal info for each owner, guarantor, and controlling manager. Here, when we talk about controlling manager, we're speaking about 51% at least in terms of equity. The business street address, no PO boxes, the time at the current business address, the phone number, the tax ID, your EIN, the nature of your business, the date your business was established, the date you acquired the business if applicable, the number of employees, the annual net profit, the annual gross sales, and the list of outstanding debt obligations. Let's talk about other information you need to be aware of when you're thinking about Bank of America EIN only business funding programs. And what we love is the fact that unlike other big banks, Bank of America is very transparent. Honestly, they are transparent in terms of their loan amount. They are transparent in terms of the percentage they are going to charge you. They're transparent in terms of all the fees that will come. For example, an origination fee. So we really believe that Bank of America is doing a great job in terms of transparency. If you go to their website, you can see all the info that you need. The website is fairly informative and easy to use, okay? And we love the fact that Bank of America is, the website is user-friendly, very clean. You see a lot of sliders. You see a lot of tools that allow business owners to make a decision. And so they have good rates. They have received kudos for accessibility, versatility. This is really good. Okay, so you really need to think about that. And so here is the decision you need to make. So I spoke to you about Bank of America EIN only business loan versus line of credit versus SBA loan versus franchise funding. Which one should you choose? This is a big decision time. It really depends. It depends on a constellation of things. It depends on your liquidity needs, your company's liquidity needs. What is the loan purpose? What do you need the money for? Talk to me about that. Give me an idea of the maturity you are contemplating. Are you looking for 5 years? Are you looking for 7 years? Are you looking for 3 years? Talk to me about that. What is your business's performance right now? Is your balance sheet lethargic or active? Talk to me about that. Talk to me about your business credit and or personal credit. This is important because those are elements that will play a pivotal role in Bank of America's approval or denial of your loan application. Do you currently have an MPR with Bank of America? Do you currently have a business relationship with the bank? This is important. How many accounts do you have with them? Do you have a savings account, checking accounts? Do you have investment accounts? Do you have IRAs with them? Business IRAs. Very, very important. So our pick, after analyzing Bank of America EIN only business loans and lines of credit and SBA loans and franchise funding, our pick is, it depends. We have no pick because, again, to make a decision, you got to be in a certain situation. You got to know your business's situation, which we don't have, which we don't know. So you really need to decide which one works for you. But all those 4 programs are pretty good. Thank you so much for your attention today, folks. I was talking to you earlier about Bank of America EIN only business funding programs. So we did a quick comparative analysis of the business loan, the line of credit, the SBA loan, and the franchise funding. And I also talked to you a little bit about the other funding programs that they have at Bank of America. I will talk to you next time. And until then, remember, stay marvelous.